What's going on, Charger family? Welcome to the line of scrimmage. I hope you guys are doing good. I haven't got a chance to talk about the Raider versus Charger game or the Carolina Panthers for that matter. So we're gonna do it all in one. I just want to throw out my opinions out there. You know what? Because I love my team and love talking about them. It's just been an exciting year so far. Like, you know what? We finally got some football back in our lives. And I think we're all feeling good after this first game. You know what? To know how bad the offense was and for us to still be able to get the win the way we did, there was a ton of positives to take from it. But biggest thing is we are 1-0. I don't see any reason why we don't go to 2-0. But let's just talk about this game in general. You know what? But starting off, offense. Jesus, the first half was brutal, man. First half was brutal. I was actually getting nervous because I'm just like, all right, we're like barely moving the ball. We end up the half 7-6. Hey, but look, there was a few positives. Look, at this point, we could say Dicker the kicker's the real deal. It's been a long time since we had like a legitimate, true kicker where we don't have to sweat every time somebody's gonna kick a field goal, or even an extra point for that matter. We've had some horrible luck when it comes to the kicking game. So knowing that we have a legit kicker at this point, I'll take it. Dicker the kicker, you're the real deal. Thank you for saving our special teams. That's first and foremost. But we have a true kicker now. But yeah, like I said, our offense was bad at the beginning. And this is one thing that I've been hearing a lot from like Raider fans. They're like, man, we beat ourselves. Blah, 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 blah. Bro, no. Look, if there was anyone that beat themselves, it was us. We had literally, a penalty on every drive that ruined our momentum. It was bad. We literally kept getting false starts. Wilt Disley took like 4 by himself. Look, that didn't look great for Disley. I was getting kind of mad. But I do think this gets corrected. Also, for the Raider fans that talk about them beating yourselves, the one touchdown that you got was a fluke. The defenders ran into each other trying to make that tackle. If it wasn't for that, I'm positive we would have kept you to a field goal. The only thing that really tragically happened for y'all was that terrible pass by Minshew. But I don't want to hear that you beat yourselves. You didn't beat yourselves. You got beat by us. So I just want to make that clear, man. Like, if there was anyone that was beating themselves up, it was literally us with penalty after penalty after penalty. Literally every drive is ruining us. And the other reason you should be more concerned is our offense may have been bad, but statistically, offenses don't play as well at the beginning of the season. They gel better and they play better as the season moves forward. So knowing that the offense was the weakest point of our game at this point, honestly, this offense is going to improve. It's going to get better. The running game is going to get better. The offensive line is going to gel. Herbert didn't get any snaps in the preseason. There was the issues with his foot. All these guys are playing together for the first time. Lad McConkey, man, once we get him in more space and be able to give a little more time throwing the ball, because Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, they did their thing, man. They were locking it down. They held it down. They stood on business. But the interior of the offensive line did struggle because Max Crosby couldn't get anything on the outside. In order for him to get pressure, they were doing a lot of stunts, and he had to go inside in order to get that pressure. But that pocket was collapsing really quick from the interior. So that's something that I do think we need to figure out. Also, the running game at the beginning, it wasn't working because, like, again, the interior of the offensive line, man, they could not get any push. So, but I do think that gets corrected. So that's why I'm not so worried about that. Look, the defensive line, like, I'll give this to the Raiders, man. Their defense does look great. But like I said, I don't know at this point if it's just Max Crosby has been going up against a lot of like backup tackles, because the right side of the line is usually not as good. But he couldn't get anything against Joe Alt, man. So that made me super excited. Look, at this point, he was the right pick. I think we're building an identity here, something we did not have with Brandon Staley. We have an identity, y'all, and this is great. So I'm so happy to see it. But I think Herbert is going to, like, once he settles down, he gets more comfortable with the system, this offense will pick it up. I think the Panthers game is going to be a great opportunity for him to get more into rhythm, to get this offense more gelled together. especially before we have to go to Pittsburgh and then come back to play Kansas City. So, you know what? I'm not worried about the offense. It's going to get better. Herbert missed some open guys. He's just got to gel. Get himself back in the game rhythm. That's it. I 100% believe that this offense is going to get better. Harbaugh and Roman will figure this out. But then we'll go to the other side of the ball that, I mean, I think all of us got excited for, man. Jesse Minter. I really hope he sticks around long enough for us to get our first Super Bowl with him. I ideally, like, I don't know if this is just me, but like I thought it would have been the coolest thing if, because Harbaugh is older, I was like, what if he stayed around long enough to where he could take over as the head coach after? I doubt he would. You know what? He's going to be sought after for sure, especially seeing how great this defense looked. Now, again, it's week 1. It's against the Raiders that are not great offensively. But to see how fun it was to see our defense flying around, something that brought a tear to my eye, man. We were able to make stops. We had a run defense. We haven't, man, for anyone that's been a Charger fan, the last few years have been horrible. We couldn't stop a nosebleed. We couldn't stop anybody from rushing on us. We were literally getting wrecked every game when it came to the ground game. On 3rd and 1, our corners weren't lined up 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. Just to see them get stops on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, to see the penetration that this defense got, to see Bosa play the way we've always known he could play. And I hope he continues this. If he does this, he'll be playing, in that competition for Defensive Player of the Year. He just looked like a man on a mission. I love to see it, man. Him and Mac together on the field is so much fun to watch. And you know what, man? I feel good about this. I do. I do think it's not just going to be, this defensive performance is not just going to be against the Raiders. I can't wait to see them unleashed against, Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson and Burrow. We didn't even get the chance to really judge the secondary fairly because the defensive line was just dominating so much. So, man, it's just been crazy. The longest time that we haven't had a run defense or just a defense in general. So to see this made me super happy. You guys, I think we actually have a real defense. So Jesse Minter, whew, can't wait to see what you got in store for everyone else. I feel bad for the Panthers, man, because a storm is coming, and I don't think y'all ready for this. But look, the other thing that really just popped off screen for me, it's not just J.K. Dobbins in this huge game, man. Great for you, man. I'm so happy to see someone coming off, 2 major injuries, and for him to be able to have the game that he had. I do think he had the higher upside over him and Gus Edwards. Edwards didn't look great to me. Even for his size, I felt like he was getting stopped kind of a lot. So, J.K. Dobbins, I think, is the better running back by far, but I'm okay with them sharing carries just because. Look, I'm even okay if you go Dobbins and Vidal, because Edwards to me doesn't look explosive, and even for like I said, even for his size, it just felt like he didn't even really get much. He didn't seem that dangerous with the ball. But J.K. looked amazing, explosive. I just hope he can stay healthy. If he stays healthy, he'll be a top 5 running back in the game. This kid looks great. He finds great, space. As he has a great burst. But I think the biggest thing for me that I noticed from this game was the fact that we made halftime adjustments, because we were so bad on the first half on offense. To come out the second half and start being able to wear down that Raider defense, to start being able to stay with something and be able to finally get results out of it, was just a great thing for me. There's only one thing that I do for sure want to see corrected, at least improving game by game, which that is the red zone, because I don't think we were able to. We had 1 touchdown in the red zone after who knows how many attempts, man, because we couldn't get anything going. So I do think that'll get corrected though, so I'm not too worried about that. And then, yeah, man. So I feel good. I think we should all feel good, man. There's a lot of good things to take from this game. And we also, going into the Carolina versus Panther game, I feel bad for the Panthers, man. I hate to be the one to say this, but I was never a huge believer in Bryce Young. I just thought he was too small. I yeah, man, I think the kid's bust. And I feel bad because I know he doesn't have a lot of pieces around him. But like I said, I think sometimes just certain quarterbacks just, great players make everyone around them better. I don't think that's what Bryce Young does. Seeing the way that game started, it was hard to watch, man. I couldn't even watch that game anymore. Starting the game with a pick, starting the first half with a pick. He doesn't seem accurate. It looks like he can barely see over his offensive line. I feel for Bryce Young because the test coming this season, they might go 0-17. This is going to be a scrimmage game for us. When I say, man, that there's a storm coming, I don't think he's ready for it. If you got dominated, this Saints defense is great. But you're coming, now you got to deal with another pass rush in the Chargers. I don't know how Bryce Young's going to do it. Good luck. But I think, again, our defense absolutely dominates, this game. I feel bad for Bryce Young, man, and the Panthers. But, yeah, I don't – this should be a scrimmage game for us. I think our defense absolutely dominates again. Unless they can get the run game going, which I don't think they will. Because, like I said, we showed a lot of potential in that running game. When it comes to the offense, at this point, I think we just continue running the ball. I don't think we need to air it out. I'm okay airing it out. I know some people have been talking a lot about like, hey man, Herbert needs to throw the ball more. We're wasting his talent. I'm pretty sure if you were to talk to Justin Herbert, he'd be like, you know what? If I throw for 100 yards a game and we're winning, I don't care. The whole thing that people criticize Herbert for at this point is the fact that he does not win enough. Well, he's going to do that now. He may not have the flashiest numbers, but he will start finally winning games, and we all want to see it. We've seen high-flying, electrifying Charger teams offensively, and what has that gotten us? I don't care if Herbert doesn't throw for 250 yards or doesn't have crazy stats. Mahomes hasn't had crazy stats in years now, and guess what? He's winning Super Bowls. So let's go win some Super Bowls. Screw it. Let's be a boring team. I don't care. If he has great games throwing the ball, fantastic. But if I have to trade that in for wins, I'm pretty sure Herbert will do the same. He would trade his stats for wins any day of the week. So I don't care whether he throws a ton. I don't think in this game he's going to throw a ton because I think it's going to be a blowout. I think we're going to start running the ball. We're going to start pounding them. We're going to score early and often. And then at some point, I do think we start tapering in. I think even we see Tyler Heineke in this game. I think this game won't be close. I can see this game honestly being 34-10, and I think those 10 points the Panthers score is going to be more in garbage time. I think that this is a great test, a great way to get our offense into rhythm for what's to come next, because the Steelers are going to come in and they're a tough defense. We're going to have to deal with TJ Watt. So I don't think there was a perfect way to start the season. We should be 2-0 after this. I don't think Jim Harbaugh loses to teams he shouldn't lose. People are saying it's a trap game. The Panthers are bad, man. The Panthers are bad. But you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be overconfident. I don't want to, hopefully I won't be eating crow after this. But yeah, man, that's where we're at, man. We'll get more in depth with it. I wish I didn't wait so long because, the game is not as fresh in your head, But I don't know, man. I think it's just been too long as a Charger fan since I've been excited about what's to come. But get ready for a great year, man. I think we're going to be developing a lot this year. We still have a lot of players to see, really grow into this system. And don't worry about the offense, y'all. They're going to get it together. Herbert's going to have a great season still. We will be a playoff team as long as he stays healthy. To see some of those videos, man, of the locker room and seeing how great of a handle that Jim Harbaugh has on this team. To seeing how happy everybody looks. There was a comment I saw on the YouTube where, Harbaugh does his slogan where he's just like, who's got it better than us? Man, everybody in that locker room said nobody. To see Herbert pumping up the squad before the game. This is different. This team is different. So I think we finally deserved it, guys. I think this team is going to change. I think the culture is going to be different. I'm ready for what's to come. Anyway, Bull family, I hope to hear from you soon. If there's anything else y'all want to talk about, but let's get ready for the Panthers game, and let's go on to 2-0. Anyways, talk to y'all soon. Peace.